Hello, my name is Abby Headland. I will be presenting my content report on instructional technologies and how they can be used to enhance the Georgia 2nd grade life science standards. Teachers today face challenges in making learning engaging and interesting. Sometimes in science, students fall victim to reading a textbook and answering comprehension questions. Students today need more than just looking at a textbook. They need to be actively engaged in their learning and not just sitting at their desks. Technology can help educators raise the levels of engagement and low T levels. For my content report, I chose to talk about 2nd grade life science standards, along with the habits of mind standards and the nature of science standards for Georgia. I will give examples of technology that will assist teachers in accomplishing higher engagement levels and low T levels in the area of life science for 2nd grade. So, to start with, let's talk about the habits of mind, the nature of science, and life science standards in Georgia for 2nd grade. The standards are as follows. Habits of mind standards. S2 CS1. Students will be aware of the importance of curiosity, honesty, openness, and skepticism in science, and will exhibit these traits in their own efforts to understand how the world works. S2CS2. Students will have the computation and estimation skills necessary for analyzing data and following scientific explanations. S2CS3. Students will use tools and instruments for observing, measuring, and manipulating objects in scientific activities. S2CS4. Students will use the ideas of system, model, change, and scale in exploring scientific and technological matters. S2CS5. Students will communicate scientific ideas and activities clearly. The nature of science standards are S2CS6. Students will be familiar with the character of scientific knowledge and how it is achieved. And S2CS7. Students will understand important features of the process of scientific inquiry. Last, the life science standards. Students will investigate the life cycles of different living organisms. A. Determine the sequence of the life cycle of common animals in your area. A mammal, such as a cat or dog or classroom pet. A bird, such as a chicken. An amphibian, such as a frog. And an insect, such as a butterfly. B. Relate seasonal changes to observations of how a tree changes throughout a school year. C. Investigate the life cycle of a plant by growing a plant from a seed and by recording changes over a period of time. And D. Identify fungi, mushrooms, as living organisms. For more information, you can go to www.georgiastandards.org. Discovery Education, www.my.discoveryeducation.com, is a great way to use a beyond the basic productivity tool in the classroom. A project that would be exciting for elementary students would be the Siemens We Can Change the World Challenge. This can be found through the Discovery Education website, but can also be found at www.wecanchange.com. The class follows several steps to complete a challenge to change one or more aspects of the environment. Students and teacher determine what project they would like to complete. Students in grades K through 5 will choose a problem in their classroom or school to work on. They then make a plan and implement it, recording data on spreadsheets that show the changes that occur. The class evaluates the project and shares results. Last, the teacher reflects on what was learned and what could be changed. The class uses technology by using the resources on the discoveryeducation.com website and recording results in the spreadsheets and graphs. The project is submitted to the website. Students have opportunities to receive grants and other prizes. To raise the low-T level of this project, the teacher could bring in an expert in environmental issues to speak with the students before starting the project. The expert could even assist students in deciding which project they would like to work on and which problem they think would be the most appropriate to solve. This would be a great project to work on during Earth Day units and, of course, during the Life Science unit. The teacher could collaborate with experts outside of the classroom, as stated before, or the teacher could collaborate with other members of their team. The project could be done with more than one group of students, so collaboration across the grade level would definitely be possible. Next, here is an excellent example of a web-based project called the Great Bean Race. This can be found on the free website called www.epals.com. epals.com is a website where teachers and students can connect and collaborate with other teachers and students from all over the world. The Great Bean Race is just one of the many great collaborative projects on this site. This web-based project is appropriate for the elementary grade level. In this project, students will work together to try to see which group can grow the tallest bean plant. It is a friendly competition among various classrooms from different countries. After an agreed-upon date, students plant the seeds, record daily growth and temperature measurements, and take digital pictures to post weekly on the internet. Students will compare prior knowledge to the results of a scientific investigation and organize evidence of a change over time. Students will collect, organize, and record data. Students will work like scientists to theorize, plan, and carry out experiments. Students will work cooperatively in small groups. I would recommend this resource be used during science and math times. I would set aside 4 weeks for this. 1 week to prepare the students for the project, and 3 to do the project. I would set aside an hour a day for the students to complete the project successfully. The engaged learning indicators that would be supported by this web-based project are authentic, multidisciplinary, and collaborative. Students will collaborate with peers all over the world in this project. Students will be participating in a real-life scenario of growing a bean plant and trying to make it the tallest one out of the group. This project is authentic because students aren't just reading about how a bean plant grows. They are actually doing this hands-on in a creative way. Students are taking on the role of scientists to theorize, plan, and create experiments to carry out. I think the competition and having to show results with digital pictures and internet tools will make students want to do their very best work. The internet collaboration piece is another way the project is authentic. I would explain to students that this is a friendly competition. Before I would start teaching this, I would make sure that the students would understand that not everyone can win at this, and that this project is about learning and not just winning. This is a free site to join and will definitely raise engaged learning and low-T levels. An exciting option to bring into the classroom is the website journeynorth.org. This website helps students track wildlife migration and seasonal change. The site states that participants share field observations across the Northern Hemisphere, exploring the interrelated aspects of seasonal change. One example I like is the monarch butterfly activity on journeynorth.org. Students can research monarch butterflies and discuss their life cycles before the project. During the project, the students learn more about monarchs and their migration from the United States to Mexico and back again. Students ask and answer questions such as, how do the monarchs know when to go to Mexico? How do they know which way to fly? How fast, how far, and how high do they travel? And how do they know when they have arrived? at a small speck on the planet where none has ever been before. Students watch for monarchs and use live maps to show where and when they have sighted the butterflies. Students read and write about the observations and observe habitats and seasonal changes. I suggest the teacher find an expert to come and work on the project with the children. The teacher should contact their local nature center to find someone who would work with the students. I would incorporate letters to write to students in Mexico to make this lesson multidisciplinary. The teacher should definitely check out the teacher's guided tour section. Here they map out everything that the teachers need to know about this project. The other project I like is tulip gardens. Students work in groups to plant tulips in the fall. They track the growth of the tulips and declare spring when their tulips have grown. Students need to research what to plant. Students report on what was planted and report when they see the plants grow. Teachers should incorporate life cycles of plants and seasonal changes in this lesson. Teachers could work with greenhouse workers, nature center workers, or botanists. Collaboration would make this lesson authentic and increase engaged learning indicators. According to webquest.org, a web quest is an inquiry-oriented lesson format in which most or all of the information that learners work with comes from the web. The model was developed by Bernie Dodge at San Diego State University in February 1995. A web quest is a great way for a teacher to incorporate technology into their lessons. Good web quests involve higher-order thinking skills and include constructivist thinking and relevant tasks. Most of the time, students take on a type of role when completing the tasks. Webquest.org is one of many websites where teachers can find web quests. Other sites include questgarden.com, Zoonal.com, and teacherweb.com. As stated earlier, a good web quest should involve higher-level thinking skills. Teachers can make their own web quests or find them on the web. It is very important that teachers look at all web quests, try all tasks, and make sure that all links are working. An example of a web quest I found is called Taking on the Life Cycle of. This is interesting and engaging because students actually pretend they are an animal going through their own unique life cycle. The students are provided with resources and are expected to work in groups. As a culminating project, students are to keep journals of every step of the life cycle in their particular animal. This makes the project multidisciplinary because the project involves English language arts and science. I think that working with groups and talking about each part of the life cycle is crucial. Students can work with animal experts in their areas too, the zoo, the nature center, veterinarians, to make the project more authentic and raise the low-T level. I would plan this web quest in my classroom for the science and writing part of our day. I would spend about a week on this project and make sure that all students are on track by conferencing with them during the web quest. A good web quest should have an evaluation at the end. These are usually rubrics to see where and how students met the standards. If a student can see the rubric before starting the web quest, it should help them focus on what is expected. iPad apps are yet another way teachers can incorporate technology into their planning. iPad apps can bring in technology into lessons and help students have access to activities where they might not have had access before. Sometimes teachers and students don't have the time to actually grow a plant or observe an animal throughout their life cycle. An iPad app could help with this. Teachers can download apps that simulate the life cycle, and students can use this for authentic learning. An iPad app that I found is called Happy Little Farmer, and it takes students through the life cycle of a plant. I might use this for differentiation because the app is at an easier reading level. Students may need more assistance could use this app and feel successful and pride in knowing that they are learning the life cycle. The teacher can use the iPad to supplement the current lesson. It can raise engaged learning and low T levels by making the learning more authentic and actually incorporating technology into the lesson. Galileo stands for Georgia Library Learning Online. Galileo is an online library portal that is available by subscription only. Any school can attain Galileo for free in Georgia. It is a great research and reference tool. Students can access information safely on Galileo. So many times, teachers have students use Google.com for research. There are many risks in having young students use Google. Even the strongest firewalls can't always stop inappropriate material from showing up. With Galileo, students and teachers don't have to worry about that. Students can choose from many different search engines. I use Britannica Elementary the most with my second graders. There is a lot of great information. It is easy to navigate, and there is even a Read To option for students who need assistance with their reading. All the links are great for locating information. This site could be used for students to research life cycles. Students could use this when completing a web quest or completing a research report. Galileo also provides copyright-free pictures that students may use for research reports and projects. It is important for a teacher to provide these copyright-free images and let students know the importance of copyright. Galileo is a great resource for teachers and for students. Overall, it is important to use technology in the classroom. Technology can open doors for students. It makes learning engaging and interesting. The tools and resources in this presentation are just a few that can help raise low T levels and engage learning indicators for life science in second grade.